Hello guys, welcome to a new video of this complete Java course for beginners. Today I will show you how to work with the enums in Java, the basic usage of the enums, the usage of static methods, and the variables in the enums. If you're ready, click on the subscribe button and let's go. The enums are some sort of constant, functional constants. I use the enums to describe the state of an object. Let's say I have a bookstore and I have an entity called order. The order represents when a client buys a book. The difference when creating an enum is the enum keyword instead of class keyword. This indicates to Java that this object is an enum and not a class. And I have the state of the order, which can be in basket, paid, shipped, cancelled, and finished. This way, instead of writing numbers to describe the state of the order, instead of writing 1, 2, 3 or 5, I have a fixed side values. I have those values to describe the state of an order. On the other side, I can say, why don't use a string to reproduce the state of an order? I can write the values in a string, but I can make a misspelling. I can have in basket written in lowercase or altogether without the underscore. This way, with the enum, I ensure that the values are written correctly. Otherwise, when compiling, when building the application, I will get a Java error. I have those fixed values already here. I can write another value. I can write altogether without the underscore. I have a compiling error. I ensure that the values are written correctly. I can write a value which is not defined. The enum imposes me the accepted values. Okay, first step done. Now that I have the fixed values, the enums can also have properties and specific behavior per value. We will see it in a moment, but before I have to look for the correct value from a string or for an index. Let's create the first static method to obtain an enum from its name. I will show the difference in another video about the static method and an object method. To be sure, to access a static method, I access it like this. And to access an object method, I must access it from the value. They're not defined, so I have compiling errors. But this is the difference between static methods and object methods. To come back to my static method, I will iterate over all the enum values. I have a for loop and get all the values with the method values. And for each value, I will compare its name with the given name, the input name. For that, I have the name method, which returns me the name of the enum value, the exact name. When I found it, I return the enum value. Otherwise, I can return null or throw an exception. This method will look for the enum value, which has the name equal to the input variable. When found it will return it. I can use it this way. As it is a static method, I access it directly from the name of the enum. And now, as input parameter, I specify a name. And the result is the enum value. If I specify a name which is not defined, it should return me null. Yes, that's the case. Cool. Let's create another static method. But this time from the index, to obtain the enum value from an index. I create the for loop as before, but this time, instead of using the name method, I will use the ordinal. It works as an array. The first value has an index, an ordinal of 0, the second value has an ordinal of 1, etc. If I specify 1, I get the second enum value because it's 0 index based. The worst part of this is if I change the order of the definition, the ordinals will be different. To obtain an enum value, I prefer the string method, the name method. And now the last point, the inner fields of an enum, the inner behavior of an enum. I have the state of a book order. I may cancel my order at some moment, but not always. I can't cancel an order when it's already shipped or when the transaction is finished. I will create a field named cancelable. And now create a method, not a static one this time, which will read the field value. As this is not a static field, as this is not a static method, I can access it this way. From the enum value directly, and not from the enum definition. But I have to set a value for each enum entry. This will be a constant, a final field, which will only be set in the constructor. The enums can have a constructor, a private constructor. Which means that only the enum itself can call the constructor. This way, in the definition of the enum entry, I set this inner field, the cancelable value of each enum entry. And when having an enum value, I can call isCancelable method to know if it's cancelable or not, without looking for the enum value, just calling this method. This way, without knowing which enum value it is, I can know if it's cancelable or not. Of course, I can have more fields, and in the method I can have input parameters to dynamize the behavior. An enum entry can be as an object, internal fields, methods, dynamic behavior, etc. From a constant, and you have all of these behaviors. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. And see you in the next video. Bye!